Oh my goodness, it's the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. And what better way to go into your holiday than another edition of the 2-2 podcast. Listen, I'm so glad and grateful that you could join me today. It's going to be a very interesting episode. Can be triggering and zesty at times. But hey, going into Thursday, we need to have this conversation. So with that being said, grab your friends, grab your family, grab your coworkers, grab the people you don't like. Grab your drink and a snack. Grab your lunch, whatever. We're about to have a little bit of a talk. See you in a minute. Have you ever wanted to record a podcast but didn't know the way? Well, I've got good news. Let me tell you about something. It's called Anchor. And Anchor is the easiest way to record a podcast. Let me explain. It's absolutely free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. And it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So here's what I need you to do. Please download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started. Whether you want to admit it or not, we've all got some very disrespectful family members. We've got some family members that disregard our opinions and talk to us crazy because they're quote unquote older or they're more sage. They've been through more than we have, or we just have those family members that are just the absolute worst at all times. But nothing's worse than the holiday season, and you got them, your aunt, your messy aunt, and your messy uncle, that messy family member, that messy sibling, cousin, decide they want to come over and start some trouble. Have you ever noticed that the room and the dynamic changes when they come over? Because now, what was going to be an occasion where it was going to be nice and happy and everybody's laughing and giggling and having fun, and that messy aunt, that messy uncle, that messy family member comes in the door, and it's like, oh, jeez. Here we go. Gonna be some crap today. So, going into this holiday season, with the first being Thanksgiving, or whatever you call this holiday. My family calls it Thanksgiving for some reason still, but we know the origins of that. We know the origins of the holiday, and we're not going to go there. This is not that type of episode. We are talking about messy family members. We are continuing the series entitled They've Got It Twisted. And nobody has it more twisted than the people around us, our own blood. Even our in-laws got it twisted. And so I want to ask a question, and we're going to discuss this just a little bit. How do you handle those messy family members? How do you handle those messy family members? How do you handle disrespect from your family? And now, as previously stated, we have those family members who disregard our opinions. For some odd reason, they just disregard it because they don't feel like our opinion, they don't feel like your opinion is relevant to the conversation. They don't feel that what you have to say matters to the conversation. And so a lot of cases, a lot of the things that we want to say go unsaid because we have been told, your opinion doesn't matter. No, you don't know what you're talking about. You just saying something just to say something. You just saying something just to hear yourself talk. Show of hands. I know I can't see you and you can't see me. I know I say that every week and whatever. That's just, is what it is. So show of hands.
How many people have been in that situation where your opinion has been disregarded and been disregarded and discarded as just gibberish, or as a situation where you don't know, your family doesn't think you know what you're talking about? How many people have been pushed off in that way, shape, or form? I know I have. Whether that is because I haven't, they feel that I haven't been through something, or I haven't been through some type of situation, or I'm not old enough to have been through a situation like that before, or I haven't been married to be in a situation like that before, where I've been damaged by somebody as far as a relationship. So I don't have an opportunity to have an opinion like that because of their opinion about my experience. So show of hands again. Anybody been through that situation in their life? And it's very, very hard to have conversations like that with people like that, because they'll never, no matter how long you've been around or you've been in a situation, they'll never think your situation even compares to theirs. And that's true. But this is not, and you're trying to let them know that you're not trying to compare your situation to theirs. You're just trying to let them know that you understand their situation because you've been in their situation as well. No situation is unique. No situation is unique. But there's a point where you have to be sympathetic to another person's situation and value their opinion. And if you don't value their opinion, and this is for anybody who is that family member who doesn't value a person's opinion and disregards other people's opinions, that needs to be fixed, simply because, people's opinions matter. They do. People's experiences matter as well. It doesn't matter how long they've been in that experience. People's experiences matter as well. And we have to be better at being more sympathetic and a listening and a much better of a listening ear to our family members who are going through some of the most tumultuous times in their relationships and their marriages and their situations with their relationships with their kids. You have to be more sympathetic instead of, the comparative, contrastive conversations that you try to get in, the arguments that you get in, the disregarding of opinions and experiences. So we all have that family member who disregards and discards our opinion. We also have that family member who likes to throw shade as soon as you come in. If you gained a little weight, you walk in the door, you're being nice and cordial, knowing they're going to say something stupid, but you're being nice and cordial to that family member. And they say, yeah, ooh, girl, you done got big. Ooh, bro, where's your hair at, man? You lost all your hair. Ooh, you done got skinny, girl. Dude, you need to eat. You don't look like you eating whatever. Not knowing how much that can hurt a person. We say we have family members that say things like that seem like they're nice, but they're not really. They're just shade. Better yet, when you accomplish something, I know I've been here before, when you accomplish something, you find that one family member who knows what you went through, and instead of being congratulatory and being nice and celebratory as well, instead they want to make it seem like they're congratulating you, but in the same breath they're throwing shade at you throwing shade at you. Oh, we've been here before. Don't look around and don't side eye your family member if you're sitting right next to them or you playing this really loud. Don't do that right now. This ain't the time to throw shade at your family members. Just coming in. Do you hear this show? Do you hear this? This about you. This is about you. No. If they want to listen to it, then they can listen to it. And for those family members who and those people who this is about, and this ain't personal. If this is about you, don't sit there and act like you don't sit here and point the finger at somebody else. Point the finger at yourself. This may be about you. And it's something that we all need to fix because we've all maybe have been a toxic family member at some point. It doesn't matter. I'm not saying we all have, but we've all been that family member. But back to my point, we always have that family member that should be, in a celebratory, congratulatory mood, and they choose to throw shade at the fact that it took you so long to accomplish that, and you didn't have. I remember when you were this. And I remember when you did that, and I remember when this happened, and I remember when that happened, I remember when A, B, and C happened. We always have that family member that decides they want to throw a little bit of shade at something that you've accomplished in your life. No matter how long it took, you accomplished it. Whether that's graduating from college, whether that's graduating from high school, whether that's getting a GED, whether that's getting your master's degree, your doctorate, whether that's opening a business, whether that's starting an LLC, starting LLC, opening business, whether that is whether that's finally getting married or finally finding somebody, whether that's finally having a child or you're this, whatever it may be. Instead of celebrating that in the best way possible, they throw shade in between their quote unquote, and put air quotes on this, in between their shade. I mean, in between the congratulations and the I'm proud of you. The vain I'm proud of yous. They throw shade. They talk about you in a way. Oh, I remember she couldn't get it, man. Look at her now. I know I'm saying she a lot. I got a lot of family members in my family that are women, so it's just I kind of gravitate that way sometimes. Oh, I remember when he couldn't get a woman. Look at him now. He got him a wife, kids. I remember what he used to look like when he was younger. He done did this, and this. And now look at him. He done got him. I remember when he was fat. Didn't no woman want him when he was fat. He lost all this weight. Look at him now. See, we're always attacked. And the biggest attacks are not from the people that are in our inner circle. Sometimes the greatest attacks that we endure, the greatest attacks that we are encountered by and confronted by, are the ones that share the same blood and often the same last name as us. And once again, the holiday season is always the toughest for that reason. Because you're always going to have that. You're always going to have that war. You're always going to be warring with somebody who decides that what they got to say is going to go. Because here we go. We have family members like this. I know I do. I know you do. Show of hands. I know you can't see me. I can't see you. I say that every week. But show of hands. How many people have those family members that say whatever they want to you because they are quote unquote older. Here's a news flash for you. Just because you're older doesn't mean you're older. That's going to float over somebody's head. But I'm going to say it again. And then I'm going to break it down. And see, for a lot of y'all get it. Y'all here. Y'all there. We're here. But I'm gonna put it where you can get it. I'm gonna leave it at your doorstep where you can get it. I just want to drop this off at your doorstep and bounce. Just because people are older, here it is, doesn't mean that they are older. Age doesn't always equate to maturity. Age doesn't always equate to maturity. Just because you've been through something doesn't mean that you have matured, that you have the mental maturity. We've all gone through something, but it is a matter of, did we make it out the storm better? Or did we make it out the storm the same person? Did we grow? Or did we shrink? Did we gain? Or did we lose? Age doesn't always equate to maturity. And so we have those family members who oftentimes say whatever they want and get away with it very often than not. More often than not, rather, because they're older. And if you're from my household, and if you're in my family, you are taught to respect your elders. That is true. Respect your elders. But what happens when the elders don't respect you? What happens when they decide to run their mouth and talk and say whatever they want because they're at the age where nobody can tell them how they really feel about them or how they feel about what they say? We've all seen those episodes of TV shows where a family member finally stands up to a person that's been abusive in their language, abusive in their conversations, and in their actions. They finally stand up to him, and then the next thing you hear is that particular family member is in the hospital. I'll give you a prime example of that. There's a show that I used to watch. It's one of my favorite shows. I'm sad they took it off the air, but my guy in the main character, oh, just forget it. I ain't good. Charlie Sheen. Y'all remember the show 2.5 Men? There's an episode where Charlie and his brother finally stand up to their mom because she's got a lot of money. She's very pretentious. She's very arrogant. She's very, rude. She's just this type of person that just she throws a lot of shade at people. Let's put it like that. Okay, here it is. But they finally stand up to her. And the next thing that you see, she's in the hospital. Now she's faking it because she's not in the hospital. She's not in the hospital because she really got sick. She's in the hospital to get a little Botox. Get some Botox injections and some different things. But she wanted to fake it to get some sympathy from the family members. All because somebody stood up to her. We've seen that happen. I don't know, regardless if you think it's real life or not. Under no circumstances should respect is a two-way street. It takes respect to get respect. I know I'm jumping back and forth and it doesn't seem like everything connects, but it takes respect to get respect. Doesn't matter what age you are, how long you've been around, the magnitude and longevity, the length of your experience in life. Experience or experiences in life. It doesn't matter how long it is. Respect comes from being respectfully. As one of my mentors said in his book, Boys Won't Be Boys, there's a point in there where respect is earned. Respect is earned, not given. Respect is earned by being living respectfully, and being respectful to other people. And by being respectful to other people, that doesn't mean you always give your opinion about how you feel about somebody, about what they're doing in their own life. Because we're all called to run our own race. Yes, we are handed a baton from the generations past, but we are called to run our own race. But sometimes sometimes the races that we run are mired and blocked by obstacles and hurdles, oftentimes put in front of us by our own family members. But today is the day to say, family or not, you will not talk to me that way. You will not treat me in a way that is detrimental to a healthy relationship between you and I. I didn't understand what you were saying when I was younger, but it took me some time to understand that what you were saying wasn't nice. And so now I have to say how I feel. And do it respectfully. Listen, do it respectfully unless they come at you wrong after you've been respectful. Be respectful about it. I know it can be very hard to be respectful and not cuss your family members out. I understand that, but sometimes it takes a little willpower, a little prayer to finally go, Lord, keep my mind, keep my mouth, because you know how I can get when people cross that line and choose violence. They choose to throw shade and be petty. Please, Lord, help me, hold me, keep me from saying something I know I'll go say. Because once again, God, you know me. You know how my mouth can get. It's hard to be respectful to those that disrespect you, that choose disrespect over being civilized and being diplomatic. And also, try to avoid those conversations, those triggering conversations. When they ask you questions that you know are going to be triggering and are going to turn on some things from your past that you didn't want to turn back on, or that you didn't want to come back. Try to avoid those conversations. And always have some family members that will check a family member for trying to throw shade or be negative during times like these, during a holiday like this. It's good to have a family member that will check that messy family member. I encourage you going into the holiday season to not only be safe around each other, but try to practice safety around your conversations amongst each other. This is the season to change the conversation within your family. This is the season to really talk to your family members about how they treat you each and every day. This is the season to do all of that and more. Because no matter how old you get, you're always going to have that family member, again, that doesn't respect you or doesn't respect anybody at that route. Doesn't respect anyone. And so now, it's time to stand up and let them know that this is not the same you that you were years ago, that you could talk to any type of way. That's not how it's going to go. It's not how it's going to be. So you're going to be respectful. You're going to be nice. You're going to talk to me like I'm an adult, not like I'm a child. You're not going to throw shade at any accomplishment that I made that it took me, that wasn't on your time frame. That wasn't on your time frame. Aha. And we're going to do the right thing. And we're going to have a healthy, a happy, and a prosperous holiday season. Hey, listen, thank you for joining the show today. Don't forget to follow the show page and my personal page. The show page is 22_podcast. That is 22_podcast on Instagram. And my personal page at AlexJ_live. That is AlexJ_live. Please don't forget the 22 podcast has merch. That's on 22apparel.threadless.com. That is 22apparel.threadless.com. See you soon.